Okay, so that was Revolutions by Jessie Ayles. Can you give her another round of applause, please? And we're going to have a Q&A with Jessie now, so if she'd like to come up to the front for me.
I lived in Thailand for a year, and this was just someone who became my friend. And I lived there for a year and decided to move back to London, but I'd left all my stuff in Thailand, so I needed funding to go back and get my stuff. So I pitched a story about my friend to the Discovery Channel, and was lucky enough to get a bit of money to go back. So yeah, I made that, got my stuff, and came back to London.
Excellent. And so whereabouts in Thailand is this? I mean, obviously we've seen Thailand a lot in the press the last few days for tragic reasons, but this is a great little reminder of all the amazing positive things that happen in Thailand. So tell us where it is and tell us a little bit more about that.
This is in Chiang Mai, in northern Thailand. It's kind of near the border of Burma, so it's got a very, very different feel to the rest of Thailand, like the islands and stuff. It's the second largest city, but it's still quite provincial. So you can just, like, unlike Bangkok, you can sort of cycle without completely dying. So it's still got an element of lots of kind of grassroots sort of potential, and that's what this guy is trying to do. And he's able to kind of reach the community much faster than I think a really big city like Bangkok. Excellent. So it's surrounded by mountains. It's really, really beautiful, and it's flat.
Is there any questions at this point that anybody would like to ask Jessie about the film? No? Okay. Okay, yep, shout it out.
It wasn't quite like that. I did pitch it to lots of other people and other ideas as well. I actually wanted to make a different film in Thailand, but no one wanted to pay me money to make that one. So this is the one they wanted. So, but I made the other one at the same time.
And is cycling's become? Is it right to say it's a bit of a theme for you? I mean, if anybody visits your website, which I hope they do after this, you've made other films about cycling in London.
Yeah, it's happened quite naturally. It wasn't something I ever planned to. Again, I think cycling's definitely taken off a lot in the UK in the last sort of 10 years, especially the last 5 years. And it seems to, seems to be a kind of hot topic at the moment. But the more I've made films about cycling, the more my relationship with it has kind of developed as well. When I just used to it wasn't what I used to want to make films about necessarily.
And have you got any plans to go back and do follow-up, or are there any other stories in Thailand that you're sort of researching, looking at the moment?
I started to pitch an idea. I'd quite like the characters in this film who do the street racing, through them I started to learn a bit more about sort of their backgrounds, and I wanted to make maybe just a documentary about a bit darker, kind of about the street racing, and just with someone who's kind of like a bit more, because Ganji, he went to international school, and he's like half Burmese, half English. So I wanted to make a documentary just about the kind of the actual like local Thai. I mean, it's local, but more like just Thai.
Excellent. Are there any more questions for Jessie at this stage? Yeah, fire away.
Is there any specific sort of behind the story to see from the bicycle, that sense of physicality or the space in that northern Thailand? See, you use like drawn at the end.
Yeah.
So perhaps some shot in.
So the question, just for the camera there, is how did you approach the area of Chiang Mai and the location and the geography in your filmmaking?
Well, definitely with the drone footage, it's on the mountain, or the green road scenes that's shot on Doi Satep, which is like the Big Ben of Chiang Mai. So I definitely wanted to film there. I didn't approach my filming in relation to Chiang Mai, I think just more in relation to the movement of cycling. I was lucky to work with kind of like a Steadicam sort of system, so I got some really nice tracking shots and some GoPro stuff, but nothing too specific to the actual. The drone stuff it's hard to film anything that looks bad on those sort of locations, so I was lucky.
Yeah, I mean the colours are particularly beautiful in that second to last shot, the green and the purple. Yeah, I really like that. So yeah, when do you have any plans to go back and to shoot more? When should we expect, or when should we check back on your website for more stuff?
Well, I'm trying to stay in London for a little bit because I've kind of been coming and going for the last years. But I am editing, so I'm making another documentary actually about Ganji's dad, who's this Burmese kind of old guerrilla fighter, and also like outside artist. So that's what will be up next.
Yep, I think we've got a question in the front row.
Yeah, I don't know to what degree you can speak to this, but to what degree were the class distinctions that we observed in bicycle culture picked up by Thai people? Because to me, when you see like trick bikes, street bikes, BMX, fixies, and then like 5,000-pound carbon fiber racing bikes, those are entirely different communities with entirely different concerns. And here it kind of seemed like they were all collapsed. Can you speak to that a little bit?
So the question just there for those who couldn't hear was, here in the West we have a bit of a class distinction between certain types of bicycling, whether it's trick biking, BMXing, speed biking, road biking, what have you. Did you observe any of that in Thailand, or was it different?
It's kind of the same, but then it's not, because it's so emerging. There hasn't been time to really kind of categorize each type. But what Ganji's trying to do is, so at the moment, like, it's definitely seen as, if you're Thai or local and you're riding a bicycle to go to the supermarket, you just get laughed at. Just like, sort of, because it's something that immigrants do, or if you have no choice, you have to ride a bike. Ganji tries to say that he doesn't want to kind of show cycling as sort of a status thing. So even though those guys have like fixies and stuff like that, he tries to kind of propagate that you can ride anything and that's good. But yeah, in terms of that, it's not like the guys who are doing the street racing, they're definitely what would be seen as working class in Thailand. They're sort of parents just run bars, and they kind of would have quite like limited options in life, but they save all their money to get expensive bicycles. So yeah, there's not really a class in the same way there yet.
I think we had I saw another question somewhere in the middle.
It's a silly question, but is there a story behind that bike frame?
Is there a story about the tall bike that I think you see in the middle?
That was in there a little bit, but in the first edit. But it's just he went to Portland to learn how to make bikes. That's how he learned how to build bikes, and that's what everyone teaches. Like, that's what you make when you go to bike school. It's like you can do like 3 frame, like it gets ridiculous. And he used to cycle. Yeah, he cycles around town, and just the reactions he gets are quite interesting. So, not a huge story.
Are there any more questions? Okay. Well, I think we'll leave it there then. Do you want to tell us where we can find more of your work, and when we can maybe expect to see anything coming from you in the future?
Yes. Yeah, this will give me a good deadline.
Force the issue right now.
Yeah. Well, I have a website, which I think may be on the piece of paper.
But plug away.
Yeah, it's just jessieayles.net. I'm based in East London, so if anyone wants to ever say hello.
Cool. Well, I'm sure you'll get loads of traffic after this event. Can you give Jessie a round of applause?